We collected $2.1 million, of which 100% went to charity, to an organization called African Parks Network, which I deeply believe in their philosophy. So the money is in the right hands. But what was way more interesting is the fact that we became their #1 storytelling channel. So we started to speak about the whole narrative of what happens to these places if tourism stops. And we became kind of a channel for them to tell the world about waking up people, like literally, it's not good that we're stopping tourism in Africa. In fact, it's really bad. And that was way more powerful than the monetary impact we made. And the beautiful side effect is also that we kind of tapped into a new audience for African Parks as an organization, in which we saw a conversion of lots of new donors coming in out of the awareness we created as a storytelling channel. So the impact was way bigger than the $2.1 million we raised. It was on a storytelling scale, but also on bringing long-term new donors in who are funding probably way more money than the 2.1 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we can still buy prints now.
No, so the sale stopped last year. We took a 1-year break. We had a consecutive 3-year window in which the momentum was very COVID-based. So with COVID disappearing from the global map, we had to reframe our strategy. So we needed to take a break. The team also grew from me and Marion into about like 15 people. So there was more and more complexity coming to the table. So after taking a gap year, we are now entering the first stages of building a new strategy and wanting to come back either in the end of this year or early next year. I can't say too much about it, but we're considering different routes. But we will probably come back. Yeah.
Well, watch out for it. I wanted to just, we're wrapping up here a little bit, but I wanted to, you talked something there that kind of made me think, and reflective of my own thoughts as well about media. Now, I don't really want to talk probably too much on this show about social media because it impacts us as photographers quite vehemently. But, when you think about the power of these platforms, social media, when you have the echo chambers that you have, or big media, when you have things like the illusory truth effect and people saying the same thing over and over, you start to believe it, whether it might be true or not. Tell us a little bit more about what your statement in terms of media being more dangerous than something like climate change. And can you tell us why?
Well, the technology advancement is just going so extremely rapid at the moment. And we haven't even talked about AI. But I think that whole emergence of AI in the context of media now, completely blurring the lines between fiction and reality, is extremely dangerous. I think we can all agree. And what media does to me as well, unrelated to AI, but I think it's very easy to believe if you work as a photographer in this space that it's about competition. It's people always, if you would ask me if you would ask 100 photographers what is a big what is like one of the setbacks of your career, that would be like, it's such a competitive industry. But good storytelling for me is collaborative instead of competitive. Good storytelling should be about coming together rather than assuming that it's a competitive pursuit of finding a story that never has been told before and just keeping it for yourself as long as you can until you release. So I think what media really, really triggers is that in becoming really individual as a storyteller within the space to just really, you get where I'm heading to, right?
Absolutely.
And that combined with that spiral, you can easily, it's so easy to believe stuff that you would never in a million years have believed without the power of that media. I'm not sure if that answers the question.
It's very important, I think, for people to hear about this and to understand, for us to, I think it's, for me anyway, it's incumbent upon mature adults who are professionals in their arena, or at least trying to inspire change, not necessarily make change great in our small way, but it certainly inspires some kind of difference.
Yeah.
I think personally, I'm not talking for you at all, but personally, I feel we have a responsibility to at least enlighten people on our experiences or our thoughts, our opinions on something like media, because it's so easy. This is what we're talking about. It's so easy for people to just get brainwashed, or just focus on their channel or what they want to talk about. That could be full of misinformation and disinformation that is not, goes past any kind of fact checking protocols. So I think it's hugely important because it shapes beliefs. It shapes ideas. And that's all society is. It all comes back to our own beliefs and our own ideas. And the thing that drives that, unfortunately, is some fucking rich conglomerate who owns a media company and dictates what should be the output of that media company. It's so fucked up. I'm amazed that we all buy into it, but we do. It's just human nature, right?